I wanted to get this organization on because we air the UGA Bulldogs games, and when it came up about what they want done with the UGA mascot, I said, how can I make this happen? So I called the people for the ethical treatment of animals. I said, hey, we're the home of the UGA Bulldogs games, and some people think you have a valid case, and come on and have a conversation. And joining us right now from the people from the ethical treatment of animals is Ashley Byrne. Ashley, thank you so much for, I guess, coming into the lion's den, so to speak. And how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, and thanks for having me on.
So talk to us about, of course, there are other animals in other colleges, but we're UGA here, and the UGA fans are listening all over the place. What's up with the UGA mascot?
That's right. And, to be clear, we are not in favor of live animal mascots in general. Because, for a wide variety of reasons. I mean, so many of them they're brought into these stadiums filled with screaming fans and chaos, and it's, it's just not a good life for them in general. But specifically, in this case, we are asking for this animal mascot in particular to be retired, because we're asking them to switch to a mascot that doesn't celebrate and drive up demand for breathing impaired dog breeds.
And what is that? You said, explain for me I've had animals and dogs and I've seen them. So when you say breathing impaired, what do you mean by that?
So breathing impaired breeds like bulldogs, like pugs, any of these dogs who have these kind of smushed faces, these flat faces, they're basically intentionally bred to have deformities. And bulldogs especially, they're bred to have labored breathing, snorting, coughing, the way that they're bred, even the standards, even the AKC standards that breeders follow, that the breeders are mandated to follow to have, sort of like a purebred English bulldog with papers. It calls for these dogs to be deformed in ways that cause them so much suffering. And they have these happy-go-lucky temperaments. So, a lot of the time people don't realize that actually they are really struggling. And veterinarians around the world are actually sounding the alarm on this problem. It's not just PETA. Sorry about the sirens. I live in New York City. But,
it's okay.
Yeah. But this is something, this is not just us. Like, veterinarians around the world are talking about how these animals are really suffering, and they're seeing it firsthand. Actually there are even places where, there are other countries where they're starting to make laws regulating the breeding of breeds like English bulldogs, because, these dogs are just bred to suffer.
So we're talking to Ashley Byrne. She's with the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and they've been on a campaign earlier on in the year after the two-time champions won the national championship. So it's not, and as she said, it's not just UGA, their bulldog. They just don't want live animals. So you're listening, Ashley, the people listening to you right now, many bulldog fans. And they say, I've heard the arguments. I heard some of the Georgia football players say, hey, he's being treated, I think they call him UGA, whatever. He's being treated better than we are, than regular people. What do you say to those people that says, hey, these guys are well taken care of owned by a personal family, the Sealer family? What do you say to them?
So he may be, but the fact is that because he's in the spotlight, that is driving up interest. Popular culture, when these dogs are featured as a mascot or on a TV show, it drives up interest so that lots of people start buying them. And that means that the breeders start breeding them even more. It drives up demand. And so while he may be taken care of very well by a family who can afford whatever medical help he needs, what we see so often is that people see these dogs in popular culture. Obviously, they are very cute. And so people go out and buy them, and they aren't prepared for the incredible health problems that these dogs have, which can be extremely expensive. I mean, we're talking about things like very often these dogs end up needing surgery to deal with, to deal with how severely deformed their systems are. They have all kinds. They suffer from congenital, painful conditions, and they need a lot of care. And while UGA may be getting that care, so many of these dogs don't end up getting it because people just are not prepared for what they're getting into. I mean, these dogs have been bred to have snouts that are shortened and pushed back so far against their skulls that there isn't enough space to accommodate their normal features. And so, I mean, the rasping, the shortness of breath, the panting, those are signs of distress. These dogs so often will die in hot weather. They'll die in stressful situations. And a lot of bulldogs or other breathing impaired breeds struggle so much that they can't even go for a normal walk or chase a ball. And that's just not fair to put a dog through a life like that.
So we're talking to Ashley. Hang on. We've got to go to break. We're talking to Ashley Byrne. She's with the People for the Ethical Treatment of the Animal, with an appeal to not just UGA, not to use a live bulldog, but for colleges or sports in general. But Ashley, when we come back, I know you're in New York City. It's 9/13. It's poppin'. I don't know what's happened July the 4th weekend, but I want to finish this conversation real quick. And I also want you to, it's July the 4th as we speak about your thoughts about fireworks and just animals and in general when it comes to how America celebrates fireworks with the animals. Can you do that for us when we come back from the break?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're listening to MalaniKai. We're live and we're coming back with Ashley Byrne from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. It is 9:15 and you are listening to MalaniKai live on the number one news talk radio station in all of America. We're 95.5 WSB on a Saturday night, and we're finishing up the conversation with Ashley Byrne. She's with the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and we were having the conversation about, why they're pleading with not just UGAs in the spotlight because they won 2 national championships back to back, and they use a bulldog. But Ashley, if people are just joining us right now, just give us that spill, and then I want to ask you about the fireworks. So you're pleading with the University of Georgia to not use a live bulldog. UGA. What is his name? What is his name?
Yeah, I think it's UGA.
Yeah, UGA. Yeah.
Or UGA. I'm not totally sure about the pronunciation, but we're just asking the university to retire UGA, and because it's driving up demand for English bulldogs, and English bulldogs and other flat-faced breeds are bred to suffer. They have shortened faces that make just going for a walk a struggle for them. Sometimes they suffer from such severe medical problems that a lot of people really are not prepared for. They're not prepared for the expense and the care that these animals need. They tend to have pretty short lives, and they suffer a lot during that short period of time. And the fact is that breeders don't care about the suffering that they're causing. They breed these dogs with these extreme features because, it makes them money. They know they'll sell, and they know that these dogs suffer. They do it anyway. So we're asking the university to retire UGA, but we're also asking people never to buy from breeders, to always adopt. And for anyone who does have a breathing impaired breed dog, to commit to making their life as healthy and comfortable as possible, and to pledge never to buy one from a breeder.
Ashley Byrne from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Somebody's listening. They're like, "Oh, that's PETA. They hate. They don't own animals. They don't want anybody to own animals." Do you want regular people to have animals?
You know what? I mean, to be very clear, if people have the resources, have the time, have the funds to adopt an animal, we absolutely want people to adopt animals from shelters. I was just telling you over the break, I have an adopted dog from a shelter. He's a Pekingese. He's a flat-faced breed. I see firsthand what these dogs go through, and how challenging it is for them and for the people taking care of them. Absolutely adopt a dog if you have the resources to, but never buy one from a pet store or a breeder. That's our message for everybody. And definitely, it's just important in pop culture not to popularize dogs having these extreme features that cause them so much suffering.
Ashley, before I let you go, it's the July the 4th holiday. That means fireworks all across the nation, all over the place. By any chance, is there are fireworks? Are animals enjoying the fireworks when they're out at the parks with their loved ones and things are booming, boom, boom, boom? Boom? Are they having a good time?
I'm so glad that you asked about this, because the fact is that animals have no idea what's going on when the fireworks are going off on the 4th of July. And shelters will tell you, for most animal shelters, that is their busiest night of the year, because frightened animals so often flee their homes trying to escape. Imagine if you didn't know what that was. It's like bombs going off.
Right.
It's not
I'm not laughing. I just never thought about it like that, because they don't know.
Like if you didn't know, and it's also actually terrible for wildlife. So many birds and other small animals end up dying, end up, just again fleeing because they have no clue what's going on and they're so frightened. But just advice for anyone whose cats or dogs or companion animals are stressed out by fireworks, you can just distract them by playing some soothing music, turn on the TV, give them lots of love and attention. Be so sure on the 4th of July that all your animals are wearing collars with up-to-date identification tags, that their microchips are up to date. Just really make sure that they're indoors and secure, and, do what you can to just create a calming environment for them.
Ashley, it is a holiday weekend. You took time out of your schedule and we had a conversation. I know some people higher up were a little nervous. I said, Ashley's cool. Ashley's going to come and have a conversation. And you don't want the UGA football program to go away. You just prefer that the people for the ethical treatment of animals just prefer that they not use a live bulldog in such an old tradition. Have you made any leadway with the university?
Not so far, but there's always plenty of room for them to decide to retire UGA and just do the right thing for English bulldogs, and I'm sure they will come around at some point.
Ashley, if UGA goes missing from the Sony Siller family, I'm just saying, if he goes missing, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna say, Ashley, off the record, did you guys do it? Okay.
Well, what we want for him is a comfortable retirement out of the spotlight, and we hope they will replace him with a non-breathing impaired breed, obviously adopted from a shelter.
So wait a second. So you're okay. That's different. You're okay with a non breathing impaired. You're okay with something that's not of that breed. If they have to,
we definitely, under the right circumstances.
Gotcha.
Again, we're not in favor of animals being brought into stadiums with like the deafening. It's kind of like the fireworks, with a lot of noise and commotion that they don't understand. But obviously, we've seen examples of these teams who have dogs who join them at practice, and at other times that aren't stressful, and that's great. It's just very much about, again, just thinking about what's going to be comfortable for the dog, and again about encouraging people to adopt, about not promoting anything that encourages people to go buy a dog from a breeder, and especially a dog with built-in health problems.
And this is the Ashley. She has one dog and she has 2 little kitties, right? You have more by now.
One kitty passed away. So
Aww.
One dog, one kitty, and both adopted and both absolutely wonderful. And that's the other thing that I actually think people should know. Even if you are looking for a specific breed of dog, you can find those dogs in shelters. You can find them through rescues. It's amazing how many dogs in shelters are purebred. and you can go through these breed specific rescues. But mutts are wonderful, and they actually have far fewer health problems. So that's always something to consider when someone's bringing a dog into their home.
Ashley, people want to find out more about you or read more about the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or keep an eye on you guys in case UGA goes missing. How can they find you?
They can find us at PETA.org. And you can actually, I would absolutely encourage people to go to PETA.org this weekend and learn a little more about how to keep their companion animals safe during fireworks. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because it really is. It's the busiest night of the year for animal shelters. And, I think anybody wants to avoid that tragedy of having their cat or dog get loose or go missing. So we have a lot of tips about what people can do. But there's a lot of other great stuff on our website too. And you can, read more about why it's so important to adopt. We have great resources for, vegan 4th of July recipes. So yeah, there's a lot on there.
I love it. Ashley, I'm keeping my eye on you, but listen, I'm going to keep your number locked in. We'll keep in touch. And if anything comes up, we'll let you know, and we'll have you back on. And thank you so much. Like I said, you came into, I know you guys are probably against Lion's Den, but you came into the Lion's Den in the wilderness, not in a zoo, yeah. Not in a zoo. All right. And you came and we had a conversation.
And Melania, thank you so much for having me on to have the conversation. We are always down for that. And we really appreciate, you being willing to talk. And we absolutely appreciate it. And have a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Thank you, Ashley. You too. I'm going to have a vegan burger. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I love it.
Chat soon, Ashley. That's Ashley Byrne, the Ethical Treatment of Animals. You heard it.